I don't know if anybody's there, but
Hello.
you can see at the top. Nothing probably yet.
Yeah.
It's early. I don't need to bring this back.
Hello, hello, hello.
There's nobody there yet.
Right, I just say hello, hello, hello.
Well, you'll be there.
I'm very supportive.
But you know when you do this.
What? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if you knew that.
I knew that.
Well, you just paused it. You're gonna have to move over or finish. No, this way, so I can move over. There you go. Oh.
I'm the only one's there.
Yeah, for now. You gotta finish your food anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some.
What are you looking for? Yeah, it's Friday night. Friday, rainy day, rainy night in Bacolod, Philippines. Nothing better to do. So why not go live? If people show up. But we're just going to give it some time, see what happens. What are you doing? You actually can see what time it is? Like what time what is that, old comments?
No.
Do they give times when they actually gave them?
This is the comment. Yeah, this is the comment.
Oh, that doesn't show the time it was when that comment was made.
Someone's there. I'm not that one there.
Ah, well, hey, whoever's there, please say hello. Maybe they're in the Philippines and it's evening, whereas East Coast United States would be 6, whatever, going on 6:30 in the morning.
Excuse me.
What are you trying to figure out, though?
The time.
Oh. Yeah, we figured we'd try this again. Oh, it's been a very, very, very boring day for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't like it when I can't have the opportunity to exercise, or at least, I mean, I could have went walking in the rain, but that's not much fun because when it rains around here, the streets get muddy.
It's not really muddy. It's maybe.
A little bit.
Maybe it's muddy because they're flood.
But we'll be patient. See if anybody shows up and wants to chat.
I hope so.
But you're saying there's somebody that's not you.
Yeah. Maybe.
Not much to really chat about. Hopefully tomorrow, by tomorrow when we get up in the morning, the rain will have subsided a little bit, which early weather report is saying cloudy. But cloudy could mean rain, cloudy could mean sunshine also. You never know what you're going to get here. Right, Chad?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the Philippines and it's rain season, so you never know. But I think this was like earlier, even when we did the live show.
Someone's there also. We did earlier what?
No, I'm saying when we did the live stream earlier, which our morning this morning, took a little bit until people started popping in, but you know, why not? Friday night, nothing really, honestly, yeah, there's just nothing going on. It's too much rain, flooding in certain areas. I'm sure it's not too bad out there, but
I think it is. I think it is.
well,
Muddy.
yeah, well, I'm just saying Gary and Leah, they went out
No.
in the rain.
No, someone's there.
Hey,
It's gone.
huh?
It's gone again.
It's gone again. They come and go.
Paano?
They just see us sitting here in the dark. Well, not in the dark, but we could actually, I could probably change that light, see what the difference is.
Live stream. Surface. Side.
I can't really see anything. Yeah, there's nobody there. Probably people just scrolling. Big fat zero. But, like I said, sometimes you just gotta
We try.
wait and see what happens.
Yeah, we can try. Until 7.
What do you always tell me to do? Be
Patient.
patient, especially here in the Philippines, that's for
I
sure.
have 88 views here.
Oh, that's your little cooking adventure on Facebook. Yeah, we just ate dinner.
I'm not done.
She's not done, yeah. I've been done. Chicken salad, Cajun sriracha sauce, Cajun spice sriracha sauce on chicken, on a salad, and she made me French fries. Homemade French fries. You can let me know when anybody's there, because I'm tired of. I don't want to put my.
The chicken?
No. I'm asking you to tell me if there's anybody on.
There's not. No one. Maglantaw na ni mga. Maglagan mo yun.
Yeah, you might as well just leave it on instead of messing around. A little phone holder. That's creative. You should type in hello, and that way at least.
Hello, Michael.
Yeah. Hello, guapo.
Hello, the boot.
Not the butt.
I'm now.
Nobody needs to know that.
Hello.
Wonder how. Oh, that comes up pretty quick. Wow, we got one person in it. We got Ende Che, which I have no idea how you even came up with that name. Ende. What's Ende?
It means girl.
Well, I thought it was Endai.
It's in Dai.
Oh, I was
In Bisaya.
In Bisaya. Endai Che.
Yep.
See how much easier that is when it's on?
Someone's there. 4 people.
Well,
Hello.
wow, hello, anybody, say hi, say where you're from, or maybe we already know you too, but yeah, it's Friday night, you can read them, because you can see.
Satoshi Yukamoto. Satoshi Yukamoto. Hello.
Thank you for being here, Satoshi Yakamoto. I guess I could kind of guess where you're from, but I'll let you do the honors of telling us where you're from. Yeah, it's Friday night for us. We're in the Philippines. Basically dealing with rain all day. basically stayed inside, indoors. Well, Chade, you did go for a walk.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because I went to public market.
Yeah, that's right. You went to a public market. Satoshi Yakamoto says, you're welcome. I'm from Ireland. You're from Ireland. Or now, are you born and raised in Ireland? And you just, because your name sounds Asian.
It's
right?
like Japanese.
Yeah. So, but some people just make up, create their own names.
Ah.
But maybe, you bet you didn't get, no, I wouldn't have guessed Ireland, that's for sure. But you could be from somewhere in Asia, living in another country. I mean, I'm from the United States, and it's
Not
not.
a real name.
Oh well, I like the name. You never know. I mean, I'm from the United States, and I'm here in the Philippines. So, but appreciate. We'll just call you. I don't know if I like Satoshi or I like Yakamoto. Yakamoto.
Yukamoto.
So, what time is it in Ireland? Right now. And again, thank you for being here. And
We really appreciate it. Appreciate it.
yeah, my name's Michael.
My name's Che.
Che, C-H-E.
I'm still eating dinner.
She's still finishing her dinner.
I'm done.
Oh, now she's done. That was quick. First you say I'm still eating dinner, then you said I'm done. All right, so 11:30. I'm gonna guess that's 11:30 a.m. Oh, you watch our YouTube, so you're already a subscriber, I take it, which thank you if you are, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe or tap the, I don't know what you're on, if you're watching if you're watching this live stream on a mobile or if you're on a computer. I guess it depends. If you're on a mobile, you can just tap the screen and give us a like. That would help our channel, but I appreciate that you watch our channel. At least we're getting comments from you. We have somebody to talk to. Although it's showing 4 people. So,
I'm the one there.
well, yes, you're one of 4.
3.
So maybe there's somebody else that's a little shy or doesn't want to say hello, but that's what we're here for, just to chat and learn about other people. All right, so Yakamoto says, so is life in the Philippines with a beautiful Filipina everything they say it is, all puppies and rainbows? I guess you want an honest answer, and hey, we got plenty of time until someone else would ask a question or make a comment. I think, in my opinion, being that I'm a foreigner from the United States, being here, for me, now I came, and I'm not sure, you say you watch the videos, but I'm sorry if I repeat myself. I first came into the Philippines July 12th of 2024. Never been to the Philippines, never been to Asia before. So I basically, I always call it, I took a leap of faith and said, hey, I'm gonna try and see what happens. Nothing's perfect no matter where you're at least everywhere I've been from the United States into here, it's not perfect. But I would say I feel more happy here. I feel less stress. Everything's much more, for the most part, very, very relaxed. There's not really a sense of urgency here in the Philippines. It's more of a, we'll get it when we get it. We get there, we get done when we get done, we get there. Now, obviously, for someone like myself, that can be a little hard to get used to, being patient. I've learned it though, right? Like when you say, I mean, Shay, seriously, haven't I gotten better at it? I don't know if it'll ever, like completely just lose my sense of urgency. I mean, I've been doing that all my life with work, with always being on time for everything. Like, and when you're late, you feel like embarrassed, like you don't like to be late for things. So like, you know, I'm definitely a product of my environment. But I definitely wouldn't say it's all puppies and rainbows. I mean, but
What does that mean? Poppies and rainbows.
That's just a saying of us Westerners where it's just perfect. Like little puppies are cute and perfect, and rainbows are a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
everything's just always perfect and beautiful. No. But I'd say here, I guess what makes it more, I mean, I'm definitely happier here, but I guess what makes it more fun and interesting is when you live your whole life in one country and then you come to a completely different one, it's not boring other than today. Like we're bored because we've been in this apartment basically all day, just too much rain. But yeah, I'm happy here. Now I've only gone back to the United States once since being here, and then came back 2.5 months later. But yeah, but you know yeah, it's more puppies and rainbows to an extent. But then everybody has things that you're used to. Where you're from, and then you come here, some of those things are not quite the same, and but that's what you have to expect, I guess, when you're living or visiting in another country. You kind of just gotta accept that's just the way it is, and that's why the Philippines is the Philippines, the US is the US, Ireland's Ireland. Everybody has their unique things within their culture that that's what makes it unique. Like if I ever visit Ireland someday, which I would like to, I've never been there, but when I go to Ireland, I want to be surrounded by obviously just everything that makes Ireland Ireland. I wouldn't want to make things in Ireland the way it was in the US, or I don't like to try not to think there's things that I have in the US that I wanted here. I'd say, everybody always asks me, what's the biggest thing you miss from being home? I always say the food, just the quality of the food and more options. You can find those things here, it's just harder, and the quality is not the same. Definitely the pizza's different. I haven't had anything pizza close to what I eat in the US. I've had some good pizza, but not like true Italian pizza. So I miss that. But I don't eat a lot of pizza, but I'm just trying to bring up one specific food here. We've kind of been getting some burgers that are kind of decent, smash burgers that are comparable to the US. It kind of makes me happy. What about brownouts and internet? If you work online, could you do it? Is it Bacolod a good option? I definitely would say Bacolod is a much better option because it's a bigger city. Like I'm comparing this to Dumaguete because that's really the only place I ever lived. Was Dumaguete was before, and Dumaguete is a smaller city. I experienced more brownouts in Dumaguete, especially towards like after January before I left. Remember, it seemed like we were having a lot, but where I lived, the apartment complex had a generator, so I had friends, Gary and Leah, they had a brownout. Now I think they kind of did have a generator outside, but sometimes they just didn't use it or something.
They didn't use it.
And then I lived at another apartment it's called the Marina in Dumaguete, which it's like a 3-building high-rise complex, pool and stuff, really nice. They had brownouts, but they didn't they had a generator too. The only time I ever lost power, which was a couple times at the Marina, is because one of the big boxes blew up. Like you could hear it explode. Like you hear this explosion outside and then the power would go off. They actually would get those fixed quicker than I thought they would, but I know people do experience a lot of brownouts, and I guess if you're living in the province, I mean, you
need to get your own Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you have to get your own Wi-Fi there, and for people in the province, it's very expensive.
Not really.
Well, I don't think. Well, you didn't have Wi-Fi. You
Yeah,
had.
but it's not expensive if you have the Wi-Fi.
I'm saying, if you need to get Wi-Fi, you put money in a machine and you're using somebody else. I'm talking about getting your own installed Wi-Fi.
Maybe it's the same price, but for the labor or something.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I don't think many people in the province, if they had Wi-Fi, they were basically using it, but then they were also giving people the opportunity to pay to use their Wi-Fi signal.
But here in Bacolod.
Yeah. Rome Martinez. Hey, Rome. Saw you earlier. Thank you for coming back again. Yeah, we're here once again. I need to do something, and I'm also trying to grow my channel, so I don't think it hurts to get to know new people. And I'm assuming, Rome, if you haven't, give a thumbs up on the video. That helps the channel. I'm assuming you're probably already subscribed. I'm sure Yakamoto, you're subscribed too. What's your question here? But again, Rome, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Yakamoto says, in your opinion, of all the foreigner Filipina couples you know or have met, or have you met are most successful, there are some real horror stories online. In your opinion, of all the foreigner Filipina couples you know or have met are most successful? Well, I mean, Gary and Leah, they're married. I don't know if you know, Leah's channel is Philippine Family Life with Leah. She's married to Gary, a foreigner. His actually YouTube channel is American Christian in the Philippines, although both of them are going to be changing their names. But anyway, they're a couple, very successful. Recently celebrated their 5-year anniversary, but they've been together for 7 years. But then they've been together for 7 years, married for 5, successful. And then I know, coincidentally, another YouTuber. His name's Corey. His channel's called It's Me. His wife is Raquel. Very successful relationship.
Yep.
I mean, they're happy as could be. He's a YouTuber again. And I've been blessed to meet a lot of great couples here, and a lot of them are YouTubers, and I guess that's kind of what inspired me and motivated me to kind of do the same thing, although I'm very, very new to the YouTube scene. Doing whatever I can to grow my channel and provide content that interests people, and honestly, I just want to motivate people to take a leap of faith. And if they're looking to try something different and go visit another country or culture, and you don't mind the warm, hot heat, which honestly, I don't think I've really experienced. The heat has nothing, I don't think it's any worse than anything I ever experienced when I lived in Florida in the United States, or even the hottest days sometimes, even in Pennsylvania, because you're landlocked. But no, honestly, when you say real horror stories, like bad relationships, I don't really watch. There's only a select group of people that I particularly watch on YouTube that are located in the Philippines, and that I know are also that are couples. Like I said, Leah and Gary, Corey and Raquel. The other couple too, the Filipina Moments, and their names escape me. They were on the channel earlier, watching, supporting, which I was so thankful for. There's been some relationships, like maybe they weren't married, because Gary and Leah and Corey and Raquel are married. Che and I aren't married. We're only boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're doing good. But like, I know a couple relationships that didn't work out, but I don't know of any, like, the true, like, I don't know anybody of these horror stories. I'm sure there are, but I don't know any of them. And I'm, again, I would like to think there's more success stories than there are failures. But again, that's just my opinion from the people that I've met and know. We got Fritz12. Hi, Mike, watching from Edinburgh, Scotland. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for being here, Fritz12. Now, have you ever watched, or are you familiar with my channel? Have you ever watched before? And if not, you're more than welcome to subscribe to the channel, and maybe there might be something about me or my relationship with Che or my exploring that might interest you. So please give a thumbs up on the video, and any questions, anything, or you just want to make comments. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a viewer on here from Scotland, and I'd say that's a first, and that's really cool. I like that. Thanks for being here. Yakamoto says, that's good to know. Oh, Fritz says he follows my vlog. Again, thank you. Much appreciated. It's kind of nice, like I said, I'm very new to this. I have a very, I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I appreciate the subscribers that I do have that show up on a live, because I don't do it all the time, because sometimes I'm not so sure how much of a following people are interested in, like live streams. Some people are interested and some aren't, and you need people to be on a live stream, obviously, to be able to have conversation. I do a live stream. I had been like weekly with my friend Gary, who's Leah's wife, and he's American Christian in the Philippines. Name subject to change. We just did a live stream, and I actually have the replay. You can watch it. We did it on Wednesday for like an hour and a half or so. And we have fun when we do a live stream together. Sometimes we pick a topic and discuss it, and then basically it ends up being like a Q&A, free for all, ask anything you want. He has a lot more experience in the Philippines than I do. So he has a much different opinion on some things, whereas I have the fresh set of eyes, the newbie look on the scene, which I also, like, at first I didn't think I'd have much to offer because I'm so new here, but then a new person's perspective in the Philippines can shed a lot of light for new people that have never been here compared to Gary. He's much more experienced, but then, there's something, basically I have something to offer too when I really wasn't sure what I could offer, but I will say this over and over again, and maybe you've heard me say that before. The best thing I ever did was just come here, just take a leap of faith and just do something different. I'm so happy because now I know that I won't be in my end days, thinking, man, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm so happy. Hold on. So Fritz did say I follow your vlog. Thank you. There's going to be more content coming. I had a freak injury playing pickleball. I won't really get into that now unless people want to hear me explain it. I guess I could while we're waiting for people, but if people show up. But it's our Friday night, so I guess it's your Friday morning for some people. But so yeah, I had a freak injury playing pickleball. I wasn't in the greatest of spirits or feeling all that great to do a live stream, so we kind of took a break. Plus, Gary was dealing with some drama in his previous house. Actually, they just moved into a new house, so we kind of took a break. But I need to get more of my content back on a regular thing. But I'm always open for suggestions, like what would people like me to do other than my experiences with Che? Like, what other things would you be interested in me providing content for? I mean, I can do lives walking around in broad daylight, going here and there, and you have to be a little careful. Like, I'm not gonna like directly, rudely put a camera on random people walking around, but for the most part, people are friendly to me and they kind of like being part of the vlog, so I don't really have any issues when it comes to that. It's just a matter of my data that I use here. I tested it doing live streams while walking around, and It's handled well. Like it's, you know, I only had a couple occasions where people said the signal got bad or I froze up or got glitchy. So if I could somehow keep a consistent, good signal walking around, and then if I do sometimes find a spot I could sit somewhere outdoors, I think that's fine, and kind of just sharing my thoughts and my going around and about in Bacolod. But thanks for the thumbs up. I really, you don't know how much it means. I mean, I know there's only a few of us here, but the few that are here, I greatly appreciate it, and so does she. I know, she'll give you the thumbs up. Here's a question. You want to read Yakamoto's question here?
Hey, Yakamoto, does Che have any cute sister? I have sister, but she's a single mom.
Well, that doesn't mean she's not cute.
She's cute. She
Yeah,
have a 3 kids, but she's a single mom.
And what's her name?
Her name is Clesa Jane.
And what's her age?
28. Yeah, 28.
28. So her sister's 28, and actually her sisters made it very known that she would be open to meeting
A foreigner.
a foreigner. So, yeah. I think she sees the happiness that Che has with me, right?
Of course.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, so I think she kind of feels comfortable with the idea of potentially.
Because she always broken with a Filipino, so she's tired of it. So
So
she's gonna find another with blue eyes.
So basically, yeah, her sister feels like she's done experimenting right now with Filipinos, and she's figures why not try meeting a foreigner. So yeah, but yeah, she does have a sister that's interested in foreigners. And then thank you for the questions, Yakamoto. You're keeping the live stream, what if you want to consider it a live stream, you're keeping it flowing, so thank you. Yeah, you said I always knew pickleball was dangerous. You know what? It's like tennis. It's like a combination of tennis and I guess racquetball, smaller court. If you're thinking tennis, shrink the court. I mean, obviously different lines and kind of stuff for scoring points. The net's lower. The ball's different. It's not like a tennis ball, but it's just that when you pickleball is very active, quick movement. It's like playing, to me, it's like playing anything that's, you're just doing a lot of running around, twist and turn and stretch and hit, and it's quick. And my injury wasn't really doing gameplay. I was chasing down a ball, running after it. And I was like running with it, and I went to slow it down and stop it with my foot in front of the ball, like a soccer ball or something. And then I must have just turned away for a brief moment. And the next thing you know, my right foot was on the ball, like I was riding it, almost reminded me of being on slippy ice and your feet are just ready to go out from underneath you. Although I gained my balance, strain and twist and turning, and then my right ankle twisted, and then the weight, I actually crushed the ball in half too, right? Mm-hmm. And then the only thing I noticed at first is my ankle kind of hurt, but then I just continued to play. It wasn't like a major ankle sprain, but then 2 to 3 days later, I've had hernia surgery in the past. So both sides, in my lower abdominal areas, I've had hernia surgery. One on my left side, one on my right side to make an incision. They put a mesh in there basically to hold in all your intestines. That's basically what it is if you know what a hernia is. And I got them over 20 years ago. The first one I got was my left side. different surgeon, never had any scar tissue pain, nothing. It was always good. The second one I got was probably 3 to 4 or 5 years later on my right side, different surgeon, same mesh technique procedure, but I always had scar tissue pain. Anytime I played anything active or anything like that, I always would really get sore. But this time when I twisted myself, 3 days later, now I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I had no idea why I got really sore 3 days later. And then it was hurting really bad. And then I was kind of getting freaked out a little bit. I'm in a foreign country, never been to the doctors here. And I don't even remember the last time I had to go to the doctors for anything. I eat very well, take care of myself, I'm active. So I'm blessed to have the health that I have. So I was kind of freaking out that this pain and this injury, like I was like, something don't seem right. So my friend Gary said, Michael, just to give yourself peace of mind, why don't you just go to the doctors, the hospital here. They're very good hospitals here in Bacolod. He said, I'll go with you. And we did. And actually it went smoother than I ever imagined. Whereas when I'm going to a doctor in the US, you have to go to a family doctor first, they diagnose you, then they have to recommend you to a specialist. So it's like you pay the family doctor, then you're going to a specialist. It's just a lot more. Here, you just tell them what kind of specialist you want to see, especially if you know what the injury or the area is. And I just said, well, urologist. They basically hook you up to a urologist. They give you a list of 4 doctors on a piece of paper. They're on different floors in the hospital. You see what times they're available. And then you basically write your name on a list. For my consultation for my urologist, it was 750 pesos, which 300 pesos is equivalent to like $5, give or take. So I'd say 750 is maybe $11 or $12 for the consultation, which is very cheap, pay out of pocket compared to what I'd pay in the US. It's not even funny. And then I ended up, everything I diagnosed myself with that I thought I did, I was right. So the injury due to the previous surgery caused inflammation, which caused an infection. So I literally had to get antibiotics and anti-inflammatory pills, which for their medicine, it was twice a day for 14 days for the antibiotic, twice a day for 7 days for the anti-inflammatory. All that was like 1,100 pesos, which that would have been extremely a lot more in the US. And then here I am a couple weeks later, and probably going on 3 weeks now. I feel as good as I've ever felt. Still a little hesitant to play pickleball again. I'm not in a hurry for that. So, Lukey Boy 78. Hey guys, nice to see you live. Leaky Boy, your name sounds familiar, and I don't know how long it's been since I saw you or spoke to you on live. And I hope you're still here. You left your comment, and I kind of get gabbing. But on a certain topic, I can tend to talk too much. But I guess that's good that I do that on live stream because nobody wants to listen to nothing, right?
Yep.
So thank you for being here, Leaky Boy. Your name's familiar. I think I remember you, I'm not sure. But anybody, if there's anybody else here, say hello, say where you're from, give a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. That would help my channel tremendously. And Yokomoto says, no problem, good to talk to you too. Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. You're keeping the chat going. Sometimes I look up and it only shows one person, so I'm assuming it's either you or, I guess it's not you.
Maybe
Yakumoto. Yeah, so what do you two do for fun in Bacolod? Do you both play pickleball? Is there any other things popular? Yeah, we both play pickleball. Che's very active, athletic. She just needs to hone her skills. Like, she has a lot of ability. She just needs to get the technique down. She has the strength, the speed. It's just a matter of technique, which I've been helping her with. Bacolod here, the weather is what kind of puts things, being rain season, can kind of limit what you do or what you decide to do. Now, you can go anywhere and do anything you want. The only problem is you could potentially get rained on, and it's just like I wouldn't want to plan to go on a hike to a waterfall, although we have done it once, which I love doing that. Hikes to a waterfall is so much fun, especially if the terrain, like the hike, which ours was like an hour, to get there is not just a man-made, nice, clear path, perfect steps and everything. We were like hiking. This wasn't easy where we went. I went with Gary, and it was it was challenging, and that's what made it so awesome. By the time we got to the waterfall, I mean, we were through water, up hills, climbing on rocks, and I had my phone. I was vlogging, like making videos there. But by the time you get through all that challenge, and then you get the reward, and I did make a video about that too. You get that reward of, winning at the finish line, and this waterfall was so absolutely beautiful. I'll never forget it. And that's the first time I'd ever hiked to a waterfall in like a jungle-like atmosphere with no true clear path. We had a guide, a local Filipino. We paid a guide. I think it was like 300 pesos per person. So I gave him 300, Gary gave him 300, basically $5 each, which is well worth it. You need to have a guide. There's no path, like you would never, we get lost. So, you're going along the top of a mountain, down the side of a mountain, walking, crossing streams, walking through streams, up mountains, logs, rock, like the path is literally rocks all over the place. So you have to really look at the ground and pay attention to your feet, because you could twist an ankle, get your foot stuck, fall, break it. I mean, you're talking rocks. Your head's hitting the rock, your arm's hitting the rock. I mean, you really have to pay attention. As long as you do that and you're in somewhat decent shape, I'd recommend anybody doing it, but it has to be up to the person. Look, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Gary was kind of shocked when when we first started walking, it's kind of cleared out, you're kind of going past some people's farms, and I guess you're kind of thinking, oh, this is what it's going to be like, and then within, I don't know, 10 minutes, then all of a sudden you're just going deeper and deeper and deeper into the jungle. I loved it. So Che hasn't done it yet. She wants to do it. Gary's wife Leah wants to do it, so I want to go again. I'll go again to that same one, but there's many waterfalls to go around here. There's some beautiful beaches. The only difference being in Bacolod is you have to travel a distance to get to some really nice beaches. Like in Dumaguete, there were beaches. They weren't that great. Some of them are nicer than others. You didn't have to travel very far, some 30 minutes away. Here, the closest beach is 3.5 hours away. What's Sapilai? That's like 3.5 hours away. But then, if you go an hour north from Bacolod to the top of the island, which is like an hour drive, but if Gary's driving, it would be like 40 minutes. He drives fast. So basically an hour north, and then you get on a boat for 15 minutes, and it takes you to this island called, we haven't been there yet. Gary and I are supposed to go together as a trial period just to do the whole trip. Hour drive, get on a boat for 15 minutes, go to this, it's like basically a huge sandbar, but it's like an island, this beautiful island. And I've seen pictures, if you look it up, it's Lakawan, Lakawan, Lakawan Island. And basically, Gary was familiar with it, but I was told about it by some locals, because I had told him how much I miss going to a beach. You can see the ocean from here, but it's a lot of ports here. There's no beaches. People, if they would invest in money and create some man-made beaches, it would be great. But for whatever reason, they haven't around here. But Bacolod has tons of restaurants, 2 very, very big malls, like high-end malls. Like when I was in Dumaguete, they didn't have malls like they do here. It's not even close. Tons of more restaurants. Now, Che and I don't eat out all the time. She's a good cook, so I prefer to just eat here, eat at home. Plus, it's,
I'm not a good cook. I know how to cook, but I'm not good to cook.
She's being modest. She knows how to cook.
I knew how to cook, but I don't think that I'm good.
She always underestimates herself. She's better than she gives herself credit for. Let me read some of your questions. Yakamoto says the waterfalls do look awesome. It would be cool to live close to one. Yeah, and the waterfall we went to, it was like 40-minute drive away. Well worth it. And there's like, what you just put waterfalls in the Google search, map search of where you're at. All these waterfalls pop up. So you kind of look at the pictures and go by the pictures and videos of people post from their experiences if you're interested in doing it. But for me, I'm adventurous. I like outdoor things. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be in the Philippines if I didn't enjoy being in the outdoors. Like, I don't care about apartment or anything like that, because other than days like today, which is rare, it's the first day I've literally stayed in the apartment all day. I mean, we've had typhoon, hurricane nearby, which is a typhoon-like weather. This is probably the most rain we've had in one day since I've been back here in June. But again, I'm not here to hang out and be entertained in my apartment. I'm here to be out and about. As long as I have a shower, I mean, a nice, clean apartment, safe, being able to cook, because I can cook and I like it, but Che basically does it, and I just kind of let her do her thing, and that's what she wants to do for me. That's the way Filipinas are. They want to take care of their husband or their boyfriend, whatever. They make you a priority. So, I mean, obviously I have air conditioning, but the only time, like, you can see the windows and the door, they're open. The only time we have the air condition on is when we go to sleep. That's it. Now, there are some locations, depending on if you're closer to the mountains in the Philippines, you could probably get away with having your windows open, but I would want screen windows because of the bugs. Now, we have our windows open. I don't notice the bugs too bad, but we're up on the 5th floor, but I don't notice, like, mosquitoes that much. I had my moments when I first came to the Philippines dealing with mosquitoes, but I don't know, maybe they're just used to my blood now and they don't bite me, but it never bothers me too much. So like I said, you could live in cooler areas within the Philippines and you could probably get away with not using the aircon, maybe even at night if you just had a fan on you or something. But I would definitely need screens because the little lizards, they can get in, even if you have screen windows. I had that issue in Dumaguete. Like, I'd say that's probably a very difficult thing for me to adjust to, is like lizards getting in your apartment, especially if they like. I had one time where I was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, woke up, it was dark, went to turn the light switch on with my hand, and I felt something on my hand, and I turned the light on, and there's a lizard on the floor, so the lizard was on the light switch. I don't like that kind of stuff. I mean, they don't bother you. They're more afraid of you than anything, and I'm sure they're eating bugs or whatever. I kind of just don't like that. Like, you can sometimes find their little droplings of poop. I just don't like that. That might take time for me to get used to, but yeah. On to the next question. The waterfalls, it would be cool to be close to one. Yeah. Then Yakamoto says, what about the Filipino walks? I'm told they are dangerous. Does Che protect you from them? Maybe. I apologize because I've never heard that. Maybe Che knows. She's actually in the bathroom right now. I have to ask her, or if you want to explain what a walk is. I'm told they're dangerous. I'm not sure. I'll wait till she comes out. Unless you want to explain to me, Yakamoto. That's funny. The fact that she has to protect me from them. Walks. What about Filipino walks? So, in other words, a Filipino is a guy. So walk. All right. Oh boy. I'm not going to skip Mr. Dave, but I'll go back to you, Yakamoto. Mr. Dave says, cute glasses on Mr. Simple. Hello, sir, from Starbucks. Now, I think you told me you're going to Starbucks earlier. Is this like your second trip there, or have you been in Starbucks all day. I'm missing being able to go out and get my daily coffee. And that's another thing, Yakamoto. There's a lot of coffee shops here. You have the name brand ones from Starbucks, the Tom and Tom's. I don't know if there's a Bose here or not in Bacolod. I've never seen one. So Starbucks, Tom and Tom's, Cafe Bob's, and then you have all the little family-owned cafes and stuff like that. And personally, a lot of times I go to them. Their coffee's just as good. It's cheaper. One little coffee shop I go to is called, I always talk about it, it's called Cup Fe. Instead of cafe, it's cup, like drinking cup at Fe on the end. Cup Fe Maria is like they have, I usually just get an iced Spanish latte and then an egg and bacon sandwich for a total of 180 pesos. So yeah, it's very cheap. And I like it. And the girl that works there is a friend of Che and I's, and yeah, you get, and that's another good thing, you know, Philippines in general, like you meet people and you become friends with the locals. No, I meet foreigners, obviously I have friends here that are foreigners, but I probably have more friends that I say hello to on a daily basis when I'm out. I do a lot of walking. I walk everywhere. I love to walk, great exercise. Plus, what better way to learn an area, location by walking? Because you see everything, you learn your way around so quickly. And I'm not good with street names, although I know a couple of the basics here. I'm a landmarks kind of guy. You know, when I give directions, I'm like, go down to there at this bank, make a left, at this restaurant, make a right. Yeah, I'm pretty bad when it comes to wanting to memorize directions. I guess it's just something lazy, but I do know the main roads here, like Laxon Street's like the main street. But I walk everywhere and see almost some of the same Filipinos or Filipinas daily, and they wave to me. Now, I don't know everybody by name. In the coffee shops, I know a lot of people. They all know me by my name. I go into Starbucks, they know me by my name. They know exactly what I want because I kind of tweak how I want my coffee. I'm not a big processed sugar guy. Like I stay away from sugar. So if I take it's a very small amount. I'm a natural sweetener. Give me honey, well, I can do that at my home. But yeah, so like I have a certain amount of sweetener I want, or sometimes none, or I only order one of two things at Starbucks. So, and everybody knows, like they're like, hey, your usual or that, or I'll say, oh, or number two. So it's really nice when you get to know people and they know you and you don't even need to give them your order. They're all so friendly and super nice, and yeah. There's just so many good things I could say about the Philippines, but I'd say probably the number one thing is the people. That's, you know, the best part, the people. You feel like you are somebody here. Although I don't look at myself as being anybody special, they see you as special because you're visiting their country, you're not from here, and it's just like, it's kind of surreal sometimes, you know, when you meet people here. And like when I went into Che's province, like you're out in the middle of nowhere, and the local people there, Filipinos, they don't see foreigners from the West very often. Like some of them never. But when you go through there, when I'm with her, it's like they can be going about their day, working in the garden, in the rice fields, because that's what Che did when she was a little girl. She started working at 7 years old. That's a whole other story. But yeah, she was working in rice fields at 7 years old, working 8 to 10 hours a day, sometimes more. But yeah, they'll see me, they'll be doing it, and then they'll look and they'll be like, you know, and then they'll smile. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's the best feeling in the world, meeting people from here, especially when you're out in the province. Mr. Dave said, right now I'm ordering stuff off of Lazada, so retail therapy. All right, I got you. I've heard of Lazada, but I've never ordered anything. So you're at Starbucks ordering from Lazada, or do you actually have, oh yeah, you're at Starbucks ordering stuff, so you're hanging out. Yeah, it's probably what I would have been. Well, I wouldn't be in Starbucks now. I'd be back here, but every day I go to a coffee shop at least. Sometimes I miss it, but that's kind of like my pastime when I'm exercising and walking all day. That's what I do. Che will know what a wak-wak is. Wak-wak is a mythical Filipino vampire. I thought you disappeared. Che's back. All right. Hey, Che, do you know what a wak-wak is?
What?
It's W-A.
Wak-wak?
Yeah.
It's like a monster or
A vampire.
Yeah.
Bites your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And Yakamoto asked earlier, he asked me if I knew does Che protect me from the Filipino wak-wak? And then I didn't know what it was, and he said Che will know what a wak-wak is. Wak-wak is a mythical Filipino vampire.
Mm-hmm.
So you protect me from them?
I think it's not real.
she just said, I think it's not real. You gotta have this or they won't hear you. Mr. Dave's here too. Mr. Simple is lucky to have a Filipina who doesn't whiten her skin. He said I'm lucky, basically that you're a Filipina that does not whiten her skin. That's true.
Mr. Simple is lucky to have a Filipino who doesn't. Why?
Well, because he knows that there's a lot of Filipina that do, or they avoid the sun,
Yeah.
because they feel insecure. When I told her how beautiful she is and guapa, being natural dark, it built her confidence to just be herself. When people constantly, I guess you could use bully as the term, but when people constantly make fun of you or try to belittle you because you're saying your skin's too dark, they make them feel insecure. Not all of them, not everybody has that happen to them, but
because I think even it's not rich people here, they judge you they almost perfect. I don't know why they do that.
So you've just, prior to her meeting me, she always felt insecure being darker, but now she embraces her dark skin, don't you? You accept it, right?
Yes,
I'll tease her and tell her I think she's looking too white. Because if we don't get out in the sun much, or a lot of rainy days, I'll be joking with her and I say, my gosh, Che, you're getting white. And she'll be like, I'm not getting white. Although she's not getting white, she's just getting lighter. She's not as dark. She can be in the sun for an hour, and if it's nighttime, but she's so beautiful just the way she is. She's hiding herself now. But yeah, that's very true, Mr. Dave. She doesn't do that. Yakamoto says, that's a good idea for content. Interview Che about her childhood and how she grew up. Actually, you're right. That is a good idea because we never really had a true conversation where she got in depth and explained it as well as she could, in English obviously, talking about her childhood. So I agree with that. And being that that's something that would interest you, maybe that would interest other people too. And I'd want her to talk about just her childhood and growing up, working in the rice fields, 7 years old. That still blows my mind. I mean, in Western culture, you never see a 7-year-old working any type of manual labor unless they grew up maybe on a farm or something like that and they're just born into it.
Yeah, but did I explain to you yes, start working for in the rice field 7 years old, but I'm not there whole day because I can't survive because I'm too young.
Yeah, but you did have days as a 7-year-old where you worked for.
Yeah, I'm with my mother and my father.
Yeah, but you work 8 hours in one day, right?
Yeah, but yes, I'm working, but it's not serious because I'm a kid, but I know how to plant the rice.
So you were planting the rice and that's it. You weren't harvesting it ever at 7 years old. You were only planting only?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm scared to harvest. It's not easy to learn how to harvest the rice. Even It's like we don't have machine there. It's like
Oh yeah, you didn't definitely have a machine.
and now they have now.
But didn't you guys use the water buffaloes to help plow the rice fields?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the hand tractor.
Yeah, she like when she first told me that, and it's in one of our videos. You may have watched it. It was the last time we went to our province. We actually we went for a walk from her parents' house, basically across the road, into the rice field. But this rice field is huge, and she's like, "Yeah, this is where I worked here. I was doing work here when I was 7 years old." And I was like, "Huh?" And like, I'm like asking her, how many hours a day were you doing this? And she's like, 8, sometimes more when the job was done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get it because her niece, when the time before that, a previous time when we were in a province, we went to the store and I wanted to buy her sister, another sister. We had to walk from one house to another, good distance. I wanted to buy her some rice, bag of rice, and like we got her leche manuk too, right?
Yeah, I did. I did buy that.
Yeah, but we gave it to both sisters, and then the little niece who was, what was her age? 4 years old, if I remember. She carried that.
3.
3 years
She's
old.
3 years old.
3-year-old niece carried how many kilos was
5.
in it? 5 kilo bag of rice, which I'm sorry, I'm not good when it comes to kilos to pounds. But a 3-year-old girl, she was carrying it, picking it up, and I was like, again, you'd never see a 3-year-old unless she's raised on a farm and just wants to be involved with physical stuff.
And then when I was 7 years old, like I know how. My mom tried to teach me how to cook the rice.
So basically teaching you how to start the fire.
Mm-hmm.
So were you 7 or younger when you learned how to make the fire for cooking? Like,
Younger, 7.
Younger than 7.
And then when I start cook rice at 7.
Yeah, but how old were you when you could actually start the fire, get the
I don't
wood?
know. I forgot. Like it's
maybe
like
5?
6. Yeah. Yeah, 5. And then I went to my neighbor, and then I said, "You have some firewood with fire?" Yeah, that's what we did. Like in
Now, are you lighting it with matches, or what did you use to start the fire? Matches?
Yeah, sometimes, and then the lighter.
The lighter.
But sometimes if we don't have that, I went to the neighbor, and then I asked for 1 firewood with fire, and then
So they gave you wood that was already burning,
and then
you brought it over.
and then I do like this, like go to my house, and then I blow like until pure magic.
Well, I've seen her other nieces like start fires and get things going, and like I said, you see that, and I just go, you never see somebody that young doing that in the U.S. Obviously, they don't have to either. But when you see children like this in the Philippines, out in the province, with the ability to take care of themselves,
Yep.
like there wouldn't, they have very little electricity, if they have any. A lot of them have the little solar panels that are out in the daytime just to give them a little light bulb or to charge their phones and stuff during the daytime. But there would be no such thing as having a power outage and then being in a total panic. What do we do now?
Yeah.
Like they know how to make a fire. Obviously, they're cooking on a fire all the time. If they need light, and if they didn't have a solar panel, they just make fires, and there's your light. But it's kind
Yeah,
of
the advantage for like kids in the city and kids in the province, it's very big different. Even here in the Philippines, it's very big different. Compare the what do you call that? City kids, city children, compared to province children, it's very big difference. Like very in the province, it's very like independent kids there.
well, yeah.
They can survive like even my mother's not there, my father's not there, so we don't have food.
Yeah, you basically see kids and their mother and father aren't even there. basically taking care of themselves. Now you may have like an older sibling, kind of like Angel. She could look like she's only, I don't know what her age is.
14 something.
You know, basically have the oldest sibling who could be very young, taking care of the younger siblings when there's no parents there at all. It's kind of wild.
That's the province culture.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Maybe we're gonna end the video if you want, because I need to clean the dishes.
Oh, well, you can clean the dishes.
Okay.
Yakamoto says, I was watching the A-Team at 7 years old. Yeah, I think a lot of 7-year-olds were watching TV. Although I'm very thankful that, you know, my father, also I wanted to as a very young kid. Like I couldn't wait till my father let me use the lawnmower, gas-powered lawnmower, to let me cut the grass. I wanted to be involved, and like I saw my father doing, obviously it's manual labor type things, but it wasn't a self-propelled lawnmower, it was a push mower. I couldn't wait to like get involved in stuff like that. I thrived on, I just ran around as a kid. I was always doing something. You know, when it was lunchtime, my mom's yelling for Michael. I can remember. You know, I was never around. I was very, very active. To this day, I'm still the same way. I kind of never lost that side of me. I know what it's like to work. I know I'm not afraid of hard work. Not afraid of physical anything. Like, so I'm like thankful to both my mother and my father, but more so my father, because it's kind of like I was the oldest son, 2 sisters and another brother, but I was the second born, but I was always like dependent on, you know, learn how to cut the grass, gave me the responsibility, I could do it.
I'm gonna clean the dish.
All right. And then there was like other stuff I had to learn. Che's gonna wash dishes now. But yeah, there was just lots of other things I had to learn how to do and be responsible at a very young age. And I'm thankful that I had those experiences, because it's those experiences when I was a young kid that made me who I am today, basically. Let me see what you're saying, Yakamoto. And I'm so thankful you're here. I don't know if Mr. Dave's still here or not. He's busy, but anybody who was here, I was thankful. The only way you gotta grow I'm gonna grow the channel is doing live stream. But like I said, I don't do them a lot just because it seems like they're hit or miss with people showing up. If you hear any banging, it's just Che. She's letting you know she's still here. Oh, Nakamoto, nice talking to you too. I'm really thinking hard about going to the Philippines. I mean, I guess my question to you is, what is preventing you from coming to the Philippines? I mean, I know there could be various things. It could be you're just at the time, you're just unable to, you're not retired, financially. Like, there could be numerous reasons why people don't do it. I mean, the only thing that would have stopped me from coming to the Philippines would have been myself. You know, I had no excuse not to come. You know, none. I mean, the only thing that was stopping me was myself. But sorry for shaking that. I have no regrets. You know, and the thing about it is too, you could come here, you're gonna learn whether you like it or not. I mean, you won't know unless you try. And, you know, that's the fault of a lot of people. They're just too afraid to take the leap of faith. They're too afraid to try something different. And I get it, intimidated or whatever like that. But it was like in my mind, I just said to myself, I'm going. And I just wasn't going to let any personal fear or anxieties about going to a foreign country and not knowing anybody, or I wasn't going to let that stop me. And I just knew once I get that ticket, I was like, it's on. Like, there's no turning back, you know? And the funny thing is, when I was supposed to come here, and I've told this story many times, but I was only supposed to stay here originally when I came in July of 2024. I was only supposed to stay for 2 months. And then I just, within, I don't know, a month and a half, I knew I wasn't ready to go back. I didn't want to. And my friend just said to me, well, Michael, if you can afford it and you have no reason to go back, then just stay, you know? Because basically when I was there the first couple months, it's more or less your mentality is you're on vacation. So I wanted to like experience actually living here, get an apartment and know what it's like to live here. Embrace the Philippine culture and truly get a true idea of if I could see myself living here. Had I only stayed for that 2 months, what are you looking at, Che? She's looking at me over, I don't know what she's doing, but had I not, if I had only stayed for 2 months, that wouldn't have been enough. I probably, if I would have just came home, I would have been like questioning, not knowing enough to make a solid decision to where I stay in until, like I said, 2 months I extended. It kept extending until I went home in March. Because I had to go home in March. But I knew at that time, well before that time, I had my plan in place. I'm like, all right, I'm retiring. I can apply for early retirement, my pension. It's enough for me to live on until, now I had other money invested that I'm not touching right now, but I just had things in place. And I'm like, hey, I can afford to live here because it's so much less expensive and be happy. And that's another thing you learn about being here. You let me, I'm speaking for myself, but others could experience the same thing, and I know they have, is when you're here in the Philippines and your eyes are open to a lot of things, and you learn to let go of those materialistic things that seem so important in Western society. Don't get me wrong, I like I do a lot of walking, so I'm very, I guess, religious when it comes to getting good quality running shoes, walking shoes. I like Brooks. Brooks is like my favorite brand. So like I do the most expensive things I buy, which I brought 2 new pairs here with me after I went home, because Brooks, I think I'd have to go to Cebu or Manila to be able to get them. They don't have them here in Bacolod, at least not right now. But you learn to let go of materialistic things. That's what you do. Those, like growing up with me, it's just like, oh, I want a car, I want this, I want that. So you obviously got to work for those things, but you become, me personally, I became so consumed by materialistic things that really in the end don't mean anything, don't matter. And when I got rid of my house, I couldn't believe how much stuff. Now some stuff had monetary value, but there's a lot of stuff that didn't. It's like, man, why did I buy all this? It wasn't junk, I called it junk, but I'm like, why did I put so much credence into all this materialistic stuff? And that was even before I came to the Philippines. I started kind of feeling a shift in my mindset and what was important and what wasn't. But as long as you have your health, or for me, it's God, my health, like a roof over your head, food. Obviously, you have you're married or you have a girlfriend or good quality friends. And I have some really good friends here. Like I have friends here that in the short amount of time, I feel like I've known them forever. Yeah, like I've truly been blessed since I've been here. My eyes have been opened, and I hope other people take a leap of faith like I did. I mean, there's only one or two results. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I guess you could say you kind of like it, but you learn so much and you appreciate the smaller, simpler things in life. And that's what I kind of wanted. That's why I called my channel Something Simple, because it's those simple things to me that mean the most. But that's just me. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm on an island surrounded by over 7,000 other islands, so many places to see here. I like tropical paradise. I like being able to see banana trees, coconut trees, just growing wild, sugar cane, mango, like everything. Like, I appreciate that. And then the people and the warm weather is huge for me. That's definitely a plus. I've had my fill of 4 seasons in the United States. Winter being the longest time of the year, 5 months. I can adapt to any weather because I have had to. I've experienced the coldest of cold, maybe where you're at in Ireland or whatever, has been colder, but I mean, I've had minus 20 to 30 wind chill factors, worked out in, I mean, yeah, working in this weather, like I've been exposed to everything all my life. But I'm happiest in the sunshine, in the warm weather. That's why I was always happiest in the summertime in the US. You know, so I was like, well, if I can be happy like that because of the weather all year round, why not come somewhere like here? Although initially when I was looking for tropical island places to live, I don't know, I can't say that, I didn't even know much about the Philippines, so I can't even say that was like my first choice, like option. I just think I went into YouTube and just did tropical islands or something like that, and then that's where Philippines popped up. And then obviously the more you learn about Philippines and the value of the American dollar here and what you can get for so much less compared to the US, I'm like, wow, well, why not? I figured I'd at least try it. I've already made the trip twice. Halfway around the world. I always thought that was nothing but a saying, but until you do it, which I did. But I would tell everybody, just live life. You can meet some wonderful people here. If you're looking for a Filipina girlfriend, you're not going to have any issues finding a girl here. There's many, many beautiful Filipina women here, and you need to find one that has a beautiful heart. That's what I always tell people, you're in no rush. You don't need you come here, you don't need to latch on to the first one you meet. You can be patient. You don't have to feel insecure that if the first one comes by, you better take it or you're not going to meet anybody else again. That's not true. There's a lot of very good people here. And I've seen it. And that's when it goes back to, like, when you asked me about relationships of foreigners being with Filipinas, I don't know really any that really had serious problems, although I know there are. But I'd like to think that that's the minority of relationships and not the majority, at least the ones that I know and I've met. Like, I know everybody, they're happily married and been married for many years, and I think they get happier as each day goes on because the relationship, whether they're married or whatever, grows and grows and grows, and then having less is actually having more when you're in the Philippines. It's crazy to say that, but yeah, I think people are happier and less stress. But if anybody's here, I see that it's showing 5 people. Please say hello or leave a comment. Let me know where you're at. I'm hanging out on this chat because I have nothing better to do in the Philippines, and we've been just dealing with this typhoon, rainy weather, so I'm in on a Friday night, and I'm thankful and appreciative of anybody that's here. But if anybody's here that hasn't said hello, please say hi, drop a comment, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel too, that would be even better yet. trying to grow my channel as best as I can. But Yakamoto, if you're still there, I like that idea of me just doing a interviewing Che on that. I'll have to see how she feels. She's still learning to feel more comfortable with her English. She's come a long way since I've known her, but sometimes there's certain things that she wants to say or express herself, where in her mind she's thinking Bisaya, so she wants to put her Bisaya thoughts into English, and sometimes she can't find the English word to say what she wants. But Yakamoto says, not retired, but I can work online. Well, there you go. I'm trying to remember. I have met a couple people. Didn't get to really know them that well, but they were working online. They actually, their job was in the US, but they were able to work here because they were, on their computer, online jobs. So I know it's obviously done. Actually, I have a Filipino friend. He works online. He's from here, obviously, Filipino, but I think the company he works for is located in California, but he works, from here. But if you can do it, I would do it. I mean, if you don't mind, Yakamoto, what's your age? Like what's the retirement situation in Ireland? How do they do things? Like, what's the earliest you can retire? Like, do you guys have like Social Security, pension type things? Oh, you're 51, so you're still young. I'm still young too. I'm older than you, but I'm still young. Right, Che?
Yep.
She's over there washing dishes. But see me, I turned 55 in April, so I technically retired early. Now, Mr. Dave, I see you made a comment. He can't see me comments. That's the first one. Mr. Dave, that's the first comment I've seen of yours, if that's what you're saying, since you said about I'm lucky to have a Filipina who doesn't whiten her skin. So if you send other ones, I haven't seen them or gotten them. And actually, it's so weird. It only shows me that there's one person here in this live stream, but obviously that can't be true because Yakamoto's here and you just left a comment. I'm not sure how accurate that.
Because the connection is slow.
Yeah, it's maybe the connection. But so you're 51. Yeah, I retired. So when I was in the Philippines, I came here in July of 2024. I was 54. And then I just basically, from July until April when I turned 55, and then I applied for my pension early because I knew it was enough to get me by, and that was all I wanted to use. I was like, I'm gonna find a way to survive on what my pension is, and then that's how I was gonna do it. I don't want to spend the rest of my life working. I've worked very hard all my life, and I also have a lot of friends and know a lot of people that they worked until they were 60 plus, 65, pushing 70, and then they finally retire, and it seemed like they were all dead within a year of their retirement. They never even got to enjoy their retirement. Now, I don't know the history of like their health and everything else, their background story. I don't know if they had any pre-existing health conditions that attributed to that. But it's still a shame, you work and work and work to save up for something, to an opportunity to retire, and then you finally do retire. I mean, this one guy, he retired, and then like a month after he retired, he's like, because he wanted to get some, I think, reconstructive knee surgery or something like that. He got the knee surgery, and then within a couple months, and this is it can happen when you get like major surgery, you can get blood clots or whatever. But apparently he got a blood clot and then he died. So he never even got to enjoy his retirement. So that's kind of what went into my thinking. I'm like, if I can start enjoying life now and do the things that I want to do while I still have my health and I still have my physical capabilities to do stuff, I'm not going to wait till I'm retired if I don't have to. And I understand some people have to, but I just said I don't care what it is. I'm going to make it work, and I'm going to live my life and be happy and try to remove and eliminate stress that I did have at home. Because stress is a silent killer. Anybody that knows anything about it, you may think you're all right, but that stress is killing you and causes all sorts of other side effects and just creates other health problems, all because of stress. That's eliminated when you're here. Not that you don't stress at all, of course you do, but it's certainly not to the extent. You wake up happy every morning, especially when the sun's shining. You get up, I get up at pretty much 6, you know. Once I know the weather, like rain season's over, I like to get up like right when the sun rises and go for a walk. I like to be awake when the sun's up, when it's daylight, and I like to sleep when it gets dark. Although here in the Philippines, which is a good thing, they don't have daylight savings or any of that nonsense. It gets dark basically at 6 or so, give or take a few minutes here and there, all year round, you know. So it's sunrise 5:40 a.m., something like that, and then dark at least say 6 all the time. So that's the only different thing. Whereas in the summertime in the Pennsylvania in the U.S., it would stay daylight until 9 o'clock at night. I did like that, but so yeah, Mr. Dave, I don't know what you mean by he can't see me comments. I'm assuming you mean me, because yeah, like I said, this is your first comment in a while. I wasn't even sure you were here. So Yakamoto says, working until 66 is a disaster for me. The sweet spot is have an online business that pays some of your expenses and pension and investments that pay the rest. That way you can semi-retire in your 50s. Yeah, you're right. And I guess that's why you're considering the Philippines if you can work online, because I don't know the currency value in Ireland or whatever like that, but I'm sure it's still better than what it is here. And then if you can work here, spend less money and live comfortably, and probably, I mean, in my opinion, you'd be happier. Yeah, you can make it work. Again, that's only me knowing, and like I said, it's none of my business anyway. I appreciate you sharing with me what you're saying, but so basically, you have to work until 66 is what you're telling me. So the way are you saying you have to work until you're 66 because for your personal reasons, or that's just the way it is? Like if being a citizen of Ireland, the earliest you can retire is 66. I'd be interested in knowing more, but you don't have to share it if you're not comfortable sharing it. I was just wondering how it works. And again, I know a lot of people, if you don't work a job, that you get a pension from your job, and all you have is your savings or 401k, like investment money, or you're waiting for Social Security. Yeah, that would be rough. I'm thankful that I had worked for a job that I got a pension from the company. And again, I took that earlier at a deduction, but the deduction wasn't even that much. It wasn't even that big of a difference to even wait until I was older. And I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna do my best and see what happens, and be smart, you know, budget. And that's what you do here, budget, you know. Don't just throw your money around because you know it costs less here. You know, Che basically made me realize, you know, we'd go out somewhere to eat, and, you know, from a Filipina's perspective, based on the price in pesos, we'd go somewhere and she'd be like, Michael, that's so expensive. And then I knew I would basically Okay, if it's 300 pesos, that's $5. And to me, I'm like, that's so,
Is the what?
I'd be like, that's so, what are you showing me? That's Italian or Iranian. You're not he's in Ireland. IREL. IRE. I don't see it. Maybe he'll answer. But, so yes, things that I still didn't think were very expensive. She started teaching me in my head. She'd be like, Michael, that's so expensive. So I kind of started taking the Philippine pesos mentality when making purchases, not just taking the US dollar mentality. You know, so I'm not thinking as in USD now, I'm thinking as in pesos. So now I know what's considered expensive here from a Philippines perspective. And I'm okay with that. I actually like that. It teaches you to be more responsible with money. Yakamoto says, you don't get Social Security until 66, but your private pension you can get at 59 and a half. Wow. But if you have, for example, salon income of 1.5K and investments that pay 1.5, then you can retire now. So basically, when you say private pension, you mean like a pension from whatever company you're working for, if I understand that correctly. Whereas I was early eligible at 55 is the earliest. Like I said, I took a little bit of a hit on my pension total, but it wasn't even, to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. It just wasn't. And I wasn't willing to wait. I was like, I can make it work. You know, you just kind of got to make sacrifices on food and what you eat. So basically, I'm going to be smart until I can get my Social Security. That's at 62. And then maybe think about my 401k and stuff like that, but I'm not touching it. It's pension, savings, and waiting on Social Security to add to it. Because if I had Social Security on top of my pension right now, I wouldn't even have to. I mean, I'd still have to think and be responsible, and it's not like it's bad now without a Social Security. I'm just like, I have a budget and I'm sticking to it. And I guess if you could say, even if I had a Social Security, I'd still have my same mindset budget. You just don't know what could happen. You know, there's always going to be a situation. You know, my mother and father are both 85 years old, and unfortunately, they're not going to live forever. So at some point, I'm going to have to take a trip back home. What are you saying there?
It costs more, like the piso of Ireland is converted to Philippines money is 67.36.
All right. She's doing research back there. But yeah,
It's euro.
I'm always good at managing and monitoring my funds. Let me see. They said, whereas if you had investments paying 1.5K, you would not have a chance of retiring in Ireland. Ireland is in Europe. All right, so you're basically, your currency is, I'm just guessing, and I apologize, like euro? Is that what it is? I think Che was trying to look up the currency exchange for Ireland, and like I said, I wouldn't. Again, I apologize for not knowing that you're considered part of Europe, so I'm assuming your currency is the euro. EURO, I think. But yeah, it's the euro. So if you look up euro, EURO,
Yeah,
converting it to pesos, then you can figure it out.
I did.
Yeah, see her back there with her blanket?
It's 67.
All right. That's funny.
Point
And that's good. She's willing to learn. Like, you know, she's got that little notepad. She's had that for a while. Sometimes I thought it was like her journal. I accidentally opened it one time and I was looking. She's like, don't look at that. But then it was like from Bible study, wasn't it? Yeah, she was taking notes for Bible study, which we actually have that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We meet at Cafe Bob's, which is a coffee shop. Gary and Leah and several other people, mostly foreigners with a Filipina wife or a girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, we do that Saturdays. So as she's learning to work and improve her English, when she does stuff in the Bible, reading the Bible, you write everything in English in your book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she writes everything in English in her notepad. It's cute and impressive. I'm proud of her. She wants to learn. I don't know if there's anybody else on here. I'd probably say within the next 5 minutes or so, unless all of a sudden we would just get a bunch of people on here, which would be great and probably would give me the extra adrenaline boost to keep going. But unless you guys have any other questions, like I said, I don't know what happened to Mr. Dave, other than that one comment he left, which sounded like he was maybe leaving comments and they weren't coming through. I don't know. Because I did see Lukey Boy, but then he just said hello and was out of here. But that's good. At least he said hi. I don't really know. And Fritz, he said he follows the blog, but he was in and out. All right, Yakamoto. Great talking to you as well. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you again. And I do have a video that will be dropping our Saturday at 6 p.m. So that's tomorrow for us at 6 p.m., which would be 6 a.m. East Coast time in the U.S. So yeah, we do have another video. Something simple, kind of the way I like it. But everybody, I think I'm going to get going. And thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good morning, have a good evening, wherever you're at. And Che, you want to say bye? As she sneezes, Che sneezes all the time. All right, see you everybody. Good night. Thank you.